this video, we will talk about national and global movements characterized by belonging to a role for recognition. We will also explain a little bit about the difference and similarities between the mechanisms of recognition of equality and recognition of difference, and what they are. Then, we will give solutions on how global citizens can support multiculturalism and respect for cultural diversity. Today, despite the enormous growth of multiculturalism and the recognition of diversity, it has not yet been possible to establish full recognition, which is why social movements are currently present around the world. Social movements are groups that seek to watch, protest, demonstrate, and demand the resolution of social inequalities. Among the social movements that conceptualize a struggle for recognition are feminism, anti-capitalism, go-green, and indigenous agroecology. Each of these social movements seeks the recognition of various issues that encompass the recognition of human rights and climate change. Feminism seeks the recognition of women's rights in social, political, economic, and labor areas. Anti-capitalism seeks the recognition of social inequality and the consequences in climate change due to the normalization of consumerism, exploitation, and capitalism as an ideology. Then the Go Green movement, which goes in hand with the previous one, seeks to encourage families, individuals, governments, and companies to participate in the creation sustainably, technologically, and ecologically friendly with the environment, through the recognition of sustainability as a social issue. Finally, the indigenous agroecology movement, which seeks to build proposals for agri-food and rural development based on the achievement of food sovereignty and respect for nature, going along with the human rights and climate change. Each of these movements use mechanisms that support the recognition of equality and the recognition of difference. But what is the divergence of this? The recognition of equality seeks that all individuals have the same rights, obligations, and opportunities, while the recognition of difference seeks that as a society, the state, and the government are aware of the diversity that exists in the world, thus allowing to meet the different needs that each group has. For example, in feminism, there are different branches such as intersectional feminism, in which are exposed the different problems that a woman lives, taking into account the social, ethnic, racial, and economic diversity. Since a white woman does not experience the same oppression as a black woman or an indigenous woman, this is why the mechanism of recognition of difference is so important. On the other hand, the Go Green movement also uses mechanisms of the recognition of equality, since it seeks that individuals, society, government, the state, and the companies implement action for the search of a sustainable environment. All these movements are looking for the recognition of various issues such as the violation of human rights or climate change. But what can we do as a globalized citizen to support multiculturalism and respect for social diversity? In the first instance, we must be aware of the diversity, since many of us are in a sphere of privilege and are not always aware of the needs that others have. After this, we must actively participate in these movements, and this can range from making changes in our daily lives, such as recycling garbage, not allowing comments that offend the dignity of another person, helping to make visible the existing cultural diversity, to even participate in protests and demand recognition of the same. From my point of view, social change must start from us as individuals, since we are the ones who create societies. Is it of utmost importance to take into account multiculturalism and respect for diversity? We cannot go through life thinking that outside our spheres of privilege there are no other realities. When we are aware of this, our reality will be very different. We live in a globalized society, where is it possible that anyone around us is totally different from us? But there is nothing more complete and enriching than a society where diversity exists. Multiculturalism, learning from other differences and respecting this diversity, allows us to create more enriched societies. Finally, I would like to end with this question. How willing are we as individuals to give up our privilege so that every individual can enjoy the same opportunities and be recognized?